Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome, welcome. I'm JJ, and this is the tradingsyndicate.org. This is where the rubber meets the road, where we teach you how to execute. Teach you how to execute a business plan so you can make some money in this crazy business. How's everybody doing this morning? Hey, Josh. I have intro music? You hear music? I better check. The heck's playing? Hey, Brad, how are you? Oh, boy. Hey, Supra, how are you? That must be the premium plan. Well, we're still in distribution. We're still in distribution. So, folks, overnight inventory is now long. Yesterday, watching the way we closed, I said we really need to watch 68.12. I've been harping about that number for a while now, and our overnight low was 68.12 and a quarter. So, for the last 2 days, this market has been bid 68.12. The gap is still there, and the shorts who are caught in that 68.12 down to 68.88, the shorts that are trapped, they are still bid to cover. Okay? That is providing the support. When the market gets down to 68.12, the size sellers who are long product just stop selling, lift the offer, the market goes back up. Overnight inventory was short. I told you that it would take that inventory and go sell it higher, and it's doing so using the shorts trap now under 68.34. So I'm doing a video about time frame. So there are people who are short here from a few days ago. Then there are people who are short here from yesterday. There are people who are short here from the overnight. And there are people who are short here from later on in that overnight session. Does that make sense to you? So you've got sets of trapped shorts. There's one set here. There's one set here. There's another set here. So that's the first set. These are sort of the older shorts. These are the newer positions. Do you see? just like at the bottom of every half-hour bar is where the short covering is going to be. That's why the stops are there. Does that make sense to you guys? Cool. Today's cost basis is underneath yesterday's close, Pollux, and we are distributing that cost basis over 68.40. So we had liquidation yesterday, right? We had a liquidation at the end of the day, right? That liquidation was taken in here, right? And we're taking that up to sell. Now, longer term, I think what you're thinking about is where's the cost basis of the longs that are selling up here over 67.88. That cost basis, my friend, is all the way down here. The cost basis is under 6,700. And that is being sold up here. So this is the accumulation balance. This is the distribution. So let me just get rid of... If I were to go and draw it. Yeah, this is a good time to be long underneath 67.20 down to 65.40. This is your cost basis. This is where your inventory is priced, and we are selling that inventory from 68.12 up to around 68.60. Right? So this is where the inventory is acquired, right? And right, we acquire it here. This is distribution. And you will see the same pattern. This is a daily chart. You'll see the same pattern on a 1-minute chart because the market does the same thing in all time frames. Now, people will ask, JJ, why is that? Well, because the market's job is to distribute inventory. The job of the chart is to show you how sales of inventory are going. For you, Pollux, what I do with the AI, maybe go to a bigger time frame. Nope. Maybe try... Hey, Jag, no worries. Maybe try a half hour. Try a half hour and get the AI to look at the volume. So this is your initial cost basis here from 65.39 to 94, right? And what maybe you just tell it to look for a high and a low, and you look below that low, you come right back to that high. I don't know if you could do that. That's very curious. Make sense? And then you look for accumulation and then distribution. That distribution brings more buying. You get better distribution. More buying, more distribution, more buying, a little bit of a sale, right? So we're going back and forth in this area now between 68.04, I don't know, 68.50, right? So maybe try using that. I don't know what the prompts would be. I'm sure it can be done. I'm sure it can be done. So Overnight inventory was short. It is now long, and we are distributing. We're using these old single prints here from 68.42 to 39. They filled, but you can still see that there's a bid there. Eh? Look, the last two half-hour bars stopped at 42 and a quarter. Pretty interesting. How do buyers try to push price down so they can buy at a cheaper price? Uh, it's hard to do nowadays unless you have size, and it's really not going to, that, my friend, is not going to make you any money. I could go into the explanation of it, but as a retail trader, it's not going to help you at all. See, there's a lot of information in the market. I could also talk about net capital of market makers, regulation SHO, NSCC, security position reports. None of that stuff's going to make you a dime, right? What you really want to focus on if you're trading is you want to focus on the mechanics of executing your business plan, right? Which is your setup, right? You really, really want to focus on that. So if the market does this, I do this, this is how I react, and this is how I do business, this is where my risk is. So I know this is time for me to do business, make my money, and then keep my money. Does that kind of make sense? So what you're talking about there is more common in old-time market making. It's harder to do now, and you need like insane amounts of money, like hundreds of millions of dollars to do that. So it's not going to help you, guys, right? It sounds cool, right? But it's not going to make you a dime. And so many traders will spend time going down rabbit holes that's not going to help them make money. I want you guys to get in, get out, get paid, and then you can worry about that stuff later. Look at this. Our overnight point of control was down here at 68.24. That has moved up to 44.5. That means good distribution. All the agenda you need to understand is that they're going to buy inventory cheap. People are going to get short where everybody else is buying. People are going to short. When those people who are short realize that they don't have any product, all the supply is gone, they race to cover, the market goes up in price. It's really all there is to it. So if we look at this, right, real simple. The market is trading here. It sells off to here. When it sells off to here, the smart money is going to come in and cover. You guys get that? So the market liquidates. The first people to buy are smart money shorts. The second people who buy are wholesale longs. Right? Then we come in. So there's three sets of buyers, right? Smart money shorts, wholesale longs, and then us, retail and momentum. Okay? So this is what you need to understand. Then when the market goes up and dips below and comes back up, everyone who shorted it here and here go to cover, and that's what pushes the price up. They're the fourth set of buyers. Those are the dumb money shorts, or the shorts that are trapped in bad location. So the first set of buyers are the smart money shorts. Second set of buyers are wholesale longs. Third set of buyers are retail and momentum traders. Right? Then you get that breakout. People follow that. They get crushed. The shorts come in and hammer it down here. When they realize that all the supply is here, the thing rips. That's why the market cannot get down to 46 right now, because the shorts are trapped under 47 currently. So if you're looking for a short sale, now is not the best time to do it. How would you short this? Inventory is logged. The trade we are looking for is lower off the open. Okay? So let's go and break that down, right? Let's go and break that down, and you don't need market profile. You can use a 1-minute candle chart, a 5-minute, whatever tickles your fancy. You mark out the sellers. So right now, you know that there are sellers at 51, and you know that there are sellers here, under 50, here and here. The top of the candles are where the sellers initiate. So if you were premature and you're shorting this area, 50 is your lookout, 51 is your hard stop. Because if the people who are selling raise their price here, why are you shorting where nobody wants to sell? Remember, when you're shorting, you're selling something you don't own. Why do you want to sell something you don't own in a place where the people who actually own it have no intention of selling it? How's the price going to go down? There's like no magic elevator. Do you guys understand that? Can you conceptualize and visualize that thought? This will help you from getting short just because it's popular to do so. Right? It's very popular for people. People think it's really cool to short a market, and then they get their clock cleaned because they don't understand the mechanics of the trade. Right? You have to understand the mechanics and the business reason for the trade. If you're in a trading room or you've got an educator who's trying to teach you how to trade, and they can't explain to you what the business mechanics are that create the trade that you're taking and where your risk is, where does the trade make business sense, where it doesn't, that person is not qualified to teach. None of this is random. No one's randomly walking around throwing billions of dollars out a window. Right? Way to go, G-Mans. Nice, way to go. You got your first payout. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's wonderful. Okay? So when you're a short seller, you need to find somebody who's selling it, who's going to push price down. Why is it easier to find the bid than shorting? Great question. Because the market is intended to go higher. If I told you, Maxi Money, hey, buddy, listen, you give me $5,000, and 3 years from now, you're going to owe $150,000. You'd be like, JJ, what are you smoking? But if I tell you, hey, Max, give me $5,000 in 5 years, you'll have 150 grand. You'll be okay. Now do you get it? The whole thing is built for capital appreciation. Also, this market is constructed, the foundations of this market are built on a lack of supply. Because all the large companies that make up these indexes, their supply is restricted because it is owned by financial institutions that are worth trillions of dollars and who never have to sell their positions. Get it? The whole thing is to create confidence that the person who manages your pension fund puts their money to work in the market. Because in 20 years, you're going to get capital appreciation. Short selling is a way for people to get the product they want when the market maker doesn't have the supply. He'll short it to you. People have taken that, made it into a movie, and glamorized it where everybody wants to short sell stocks. I talk to people who are, they short sell small caps. The amount of research that they have to do to make money is unbelievably hard, when all you have to do is find the bid and buy a little bit. Right? Yes. But Jonathan, how many people got it right? And you got to borrow the stock, right? Now, I wasn't short MSTR. I just said a long time ago that I don't understand the deal. I didn't want to be disparaging and say that there's something funky about the deal. But I don't understand how the stock worked. And when I don't understand anything and everyone's buying the crap out of it, I get nervous. You know? When everybody's really got like stars in their eyes and they think Michael Saylor is the second coming of the Messiah, right? And he's pretending to be the second coming of Messiah, and everyone's just buying that stock with both hands and it keeps going down, obviously there's something wrong with it. I'm short biased because inventory is long. Yes, when inventory is short, I'm long biased. Hey, Marky, all of this knowledge does apply. So if you're trading SPY options, my friend, I'm glad you asked. So, how I would be trading the SPY, right, depending on your time frame, is I would use my levels, right, and I would trade the SPY using my levels. So when the SPY failed to take out 649.35, I'd be long in that 650, 51, 52 area. I don't know how you do that with options. And you'd sell into this strength, right? And you'd craft your trading around the SPY order flow. I don't know. I don't want this to get into a Michael Saylor bashing, but generally the market is to go long. Listen, I've done 200 IPOs, okay? And I happen to know a thing or two about dilution. When everyone's buying a stock and it's going down, it means somebody is selling a lot of it. And let me tell you folks something. I'm going to ask this question, and I ask this question a lot, and nobody ever gives me an answer. And it's a question that retail traders, this is why I don't show my face. Anybody know what an SPR is? Anybody on this call? There's like 100 people on this call. Does anybody know what an SPR is? S as in Sam, P as in Paul, R as in Robert. Okay. The name is a security position report. Has anybody on this call ever heard of something called a DTC sheet? DTC. Has anybody on this call ever heard of anything called a Nobo list? Okay, all right, you have. A DTC sheet or an SPR is a security position report. If I pulled up a SPR on Apple, it would tell me where all the Apple stock is that resides in the US clearing system. So it would say UBS has so many shares, BlackRock has so many shares, so and so has so many shares. It tells you where all the stock is at every single brokerage firm in the system. You use that and the Nobo list, the non-objecting beneficial owner list, right, to figure out if there's a short position in the stock. You cannot get those things other than from the company. So retail people look at a stock. The only thing that we can look at is the chart. The chart is the only truth because press releases, I don't trust press releases. I used to write press releases when the CEO was too much in the bag to write them. I used to write them for them. Don't believe the news. Believe the chart. Okay? Believe the chart. The chart is telling you what's going on. And if the chart of a stock keeps going lower and lower and lower, it means somebody is selling the poop out of it. Right? Now, how do you detect when there's a seller? Don't worry about the buyers, W9. And welcome to the room. Do you see here at the top of these candle charts here, the top of these candles are all the same level? That's where the seller is. As the sellers move down, it means that they are competing. So if I was short, say I had shorted 68.49, my warning level would be 50 and my stop would be 51. And I'd be putting bids here at 46, 47 to see if I could get filled. So I'm short 49. My warning level is just under 50 and my out hard stop is 51. Does that make sense? Then you'd bid the market here before this level to see if you get hit. If you don't get hit, you have to move your buy orders up. If you do get hit, you can move the rest of your buy orders down to take advantage. So to detect a seller, most people, they talk about that trend line, right? You guys talk about trend lines, right? So what the trend line is telling you, and I wish they would tell you guys this, is that the sellers are lowering price to capture the buyers here. Does that make sense? Steely, no, they are not. They're not legally required to give it to you. So had you been short 10 contracts and you maybe covered half of them here, then the next place that you'd be looking, remember there's bids at 42. So I'd go 43, 44 bid, right? Which is a nice short. You're short 49, you cover some at 46, you cover the balance at 44. Thank you, have a nice day, right? Like they say in Harold and Kumar, thank you, come again. Right? Uh, and we're off. Let's see. You can't, Steely. I'm sorry. That's why I don't talk about these things, because you guys can't get them. That's why, you know how you get a hold of the SPR? You look at the company's chart. It'll tell you. Trust me, it'll tell you. Right? If you're shorting 45, you're looking for a fill at 39. 40, just did here as we fill these singles. I'm going to take this off as soon as it fills. I just wanted to show you what they're doing, right? Yeah, that's billions of dollars, S-Pill. That's a lot of money. Oh, I'm sure I tickled a lot of curiosity, and I'm sure a lot of investor relation 1-800 numbers will hate me after this. That's why they don't have 1-800 numbers at companies anymore to call and talk to somebody. Look at the short covering at 42. Look at the size. Do you see the size, the volume point of control? So even though inventories try to correct, but it's hitting bids here, you see? So it's hitting buyers and it's lifting the offer. That's why you should have covered if you were short 48, 49, you should have been covering the 43s and paying yourself, right? Now it's going to rotate back up. If it takes out that A high, it's going to trigger some stops. Let's see if it does that. Now I'm looking for the seller. I know they were there. They were there. They're there. Now they're in the bushes. They're waiting. They're waiting for suckers to come in at a higher price. Watch. Right? If we can't take out 46, we can short it again. Right? The only reason I'm thinking short is because I see a seller. I see a seller at the top of these at the top of these candles. Now, see the seller's still there. But if we accept over 46, then you got to be careful. Right? I'll wait for the next candle to see if we stay above 46 or below it. Right? We got 15 seconds to wait. Right? You could go ahead and short 45, put your stop at 46 and a half, right? And put some bids. Put your bids down lower, like I'm short 44.81 on a few. I got a cover at 43 and a quarter. No cover at 43. Another cover at 43 and a quarter. I got two left with a 45 cost basis. And I got a 43 bid, just got filled. I got a 42 and a three-quarter bid. Come on, give it to me. If not, I'll just scratch the rest. I got one contract with a 45. I'm flat. I don't want to fight it. You see how that's really what it is, right? It's 70% long, right, Scott? Thank you, right? So I took a poke at it, but my bids down here did not get filled, so I had to move them up, right? So you can't be delusional when you're shorting, right? If your seller goes away, you lost your backup, right? It's like you're in a bar fight and your buddy who's the MMA fighter who's backing you up, he's gone. He sees a pretty girl and he's off talking to her. You're going to get your clock cleaned, so get out of the bad situation. Does that make sense? Is right? Here we go. Fill in the single prints. Right? You also have to remember that this market's got big candles. Right? So you could get stopped out and then it'll go your way. That is just the volatility of the opening auction. Okay? We keep finding bids in this area here. See how hard it is to push it down? They were there. And they filled. If you're joining us late, Nico, I left the green box there just to show that there's still responsive buying. Even though that they filled, we still have responsive buyers in there. Do you know why? Because we weren't there long enough for everybody who had their orders there to get what they want. Right? So there you see, another bid, move up. Bid, move up. That's why it's good to have those there, because now you know, oh, okay, there's a seller. There's a seller here. They stopped selling here. So what they're doing is they're working this box right here until more buyers come in or more sellers come in. Right. If we take out that A high, it will blow some stops and we'll be looking somewhere up here at the 48, 49 level. Right here. See? Watch. See, if that seller moves off, it's going to pop. Because everybody's short under 45. They're going to scramble to cover, and you'll get a big green candle. See, what did I tell you? Didn't I tell you if we take out that, it's going to pop up to 48, 49. There's 50. Look below and fail of 46, you should be out by about 50, 51. Now there should be a seller somewhere in this area, right? Let's see where they transact. If you're shorting that look above and fail of the overnight high, if it's going to be tricky because they got momentum going with them right now. So the law in markets is when you have someone at a disadvantage, you must twist the knife until there is no life left in them. Right? This is not a forgiving business. So as soon as this market will figure out that people are trapped short, they're going to squeeze the holy living hell out of them. That's why I left that green box there. I've seen this over and over again in these markets lately, and that happened a lot after COVID. We had single prints that filled, and then 6 months later, there was a bid there. Freaky? Definitely. Very freaky. Now, 68.54 and a quarter is a big level for me. So we hit 54. We did not print that quarter. So let's see if we backfill it all. And if we don't backfill and we get over yesterday's high, be careful on the short side because we've got all the inventory underneath us. Right? So I'm short 52 and I'm covering 50 and I'm flat. That was just like on 3 micros. Right? Remember, 54 and a quarter. We haven't got a print there. Let's see if we take it. And that 54 and a quarter is coming off my 4-hour candle wax chart, the one I posted in the room all the time. See, there's a seller at 54. It's the only thing keeping the shorts from losing their minds right now. But if we pop that 54 and take out yesterday's high and get accepted over it, there's going to be a lot of people who are trapped short. Happens every time, right? It's the same old thing. Oh. Now we're going to find the bid. We're going to go back and find out where everyone's trapped. I'm looking for a pullback to around 48. So if you're short off of that look above and fail of 54 quarter, I'd put some 48, 49 bids in. And you know what to do if you don't get filled and you're short. There's 49. So if you were short 52, 53, you should be buying them back at 49. Take those 3 points. If you're holding for more, you're looking for a break of 48. Does that make sense? The trades have to make sense. The trade does not make sense, don't take it. If you're in the trade and it stops making sense, get the hell out. Now we're dropping in. Let's see if we can get a 48 print. 48 and 3/4, half, quarter, 48. Boom. What did I tell you? A break of 46 will target 42, right? Getting underneath 46 will target 42, wait for the next candle. Watching 46. So if you wanted to initiate a short, you really want to wait till it accepts under 46 because there's too much reactive buying here. No sense shorting it yet. If you're long, you have a seller to compete with at 49.50. And there they are, right there. How did I know there was going to be a seller at 49.50? Because there's a white line there. And it says sellers, right? So if I was long 46, 47, I know I'd sell a little bit at 49, right? It's pretty simple, right? It's not rocket science. They were there before, they're going to be there again. Let's see if we can keep it above 48. If we lose 48, we'll look for 46 and 45 again. Are you watching the offer? Right? This is the most common sense, simple method of trading. And you want your trading method, you want your execution plan to be simple. The more complicated your execution plan and the more things that you have to look at, the more likely it is you're going to completely F up the trade. Keep it simple. Okay. So now we're looking for shorts. We know that there were bids there at 42 again. Right? We know that was 42 bid, just like yesterday with that 68.12 bid. Right? You knew that there were buyers there. So make sure you're not shorting right there at the lows. Because that's where all the buying is. You guys get it? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay. Watch that 46 action. I'll wait for the next candle. See, the next candle opens. Where's the top of it? 46 to the tick. but it found some buying at 45, right? Let's see if it can get up to that 48 area. Right? Those of you building positions, right? If you're trying to build a position over 46 to go long, make sure you have your sell orders out, my friends. Use your sell orders to guide you, right? Because if the market can't take out a 48 and a half sell order, what are you doing long 46? You know what I mean? It's choppy, right? It's choppy. The buying is coming from trapped shorts. So it's not, oh, gee, I really want to buy it up at 48. They're like, damn it, I don't want to pay 48, but okay, I'll buy some at 46. Oh, I can buy some at 45. Great. Oh, it disappeared at 45. I got to go back up to 46. Very easy to get into trouble in this market because the candles are so big. And if you're sized improperly, you can very, very quickly sell, like, get really in trouble. You're short under 46, your stop is 47, 48. Okay? And you know that there are buyers here. Right? Overnight inventory is log, but it's having a hell of a time correcting lower. It is. Yesterday's value area kind of lines up with those single prints, right? So that cost basis being sold, we don't have to put it on sale yet and bring it back underneath VWAP. That's what we're looking for. We got a seller at 46. They stopped selling it around 43, 42. So govern yourselves accordingly. I would let the large traders work this area out before I got involved with any kind of size. Not right now, Jiraj. It's really just really stick to that 1 minute candle chart, man. The less you have to look at, the better. Do you know what I mean? The less that you have to look at, the better. right? Because if you can see the offer moving up, don't short it, right? That's that simple, right? Use that line, and if you're short underneath 46 and it creeps up over 46, well, hell, you're in trouble, right? Just focus on it. Focus, focus, focus. It's very, very hard to focus. You are not trained to focus, right? They want you to have a 5-second attention span, right? Click, 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 click. You can't focus. The reason I heard this psychologist say people can't focus when they're doing stuff like that, where they can focus on a video game, is reward, right? I'm short 84 and a half. I mean 44 and a half. I'm taking them back here at 41. Thank you very much, right? Nice, right? I saw that seller at 46. I came in and I hit it at 44, and I just put my bids in. Boom, boom, boom. Got the coverage. If we break 39 and a quarter, if we take out VWAP, it's the first touch of VWAP in hours now, right? We've been above VWAP now since 8 o'clock my time. It is now 3 o'clock, right? We've been in beautiful distribution above VWAP. You see that? When these fill for the last time, I will scrub them. There's still buy orders here. If you just focus on the 1 minute chart, it tells you so much information. It is just, it should be illegal. There's so much information on a 1 minute chart that people have no idea exists because they're looking for patterns, they're looking for indicators, they're looking at all sorts of crap. They don't even know why they're looking at it, right? They have no clue. Nor do they have an idea how to wrap a trade execution plan around what they're looking at. That's why I made it simple. You short 44, 45, you put your stop at 46, 47, and you cover some at 43, 42. Yeah, what's going on, Jiraj? You got to lower the price of the shoes. You're running out of buyers at 46. What do? Do you let me take all your customers at 45, or do you price compete at 44? You paid 20 for it, so you better not move, better not let your feet go to sleep. Get in there and start lowering price. Price competition. There you go. It's the same thing you and your dad do every day. It's just if we had a chart showing your sales, that's all it was. Like say you had thousands and thousands of customers, right? And we tracked your sales on a 1 minute chart. You only see this by focusing and not getting distracted by any other stuff. You should not be TikToking, talk ticking. You shouldn't be looking at pretty girls on Instagram, right? You shouldn't be chatting on, what is that, where you swipe right? All you should have on your desk is a piece of paper, a pen, and your screens. Hey, Gambit. Market makers will rather let the market die than chase prices. No, that's completely wrong. Hi. Sorry, this is like, say, the moon is made of cheese. Market makers provide liquidity. the market dies, so does their business. Okay? I don't know where people get these weird market maker wives' tales. Market makers do this. Market makers do this. The market maker ate my homework. Market maker stole my cat. I don't know where people get this stuff, and that is why I'm going to do a little commercial for our AI, because our AI trading coach will keep you from getting weird, strange information like that. Hey, RC3160, welcome. Right? Also run, is the moon made out of green cheese? Right? We are the tradingsyndicate.org. Come hang out with us, learn how to trade. We have definitely, we have ways to get you profitable where we're not going to give you bad information so you blow up your accounts. What is the percentage of what? Mr. Simpson, what are you sniffing, Juice? What kind of question is that? Why don't you go do the research and come back and ask us? Yeah. Yeah, why don't you go take a break? Right? See you, man. Enjoy your smoke. Long 48, selling 49 and 3/4, selling 50, 6 left, 49 and 3/4 flat. Guys, I'm trying to teach people how to trade. I do enjoy a laugh. Let's try not to offend anybody and get me canceled, okay? Right? Keep the dickhead discussions down to a minimum. Thank you. We appreciate your attention to this matter. Okay? Right? Would you ask people that in person, face to face? Probably not. Right? Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's the YouTube chat. I feel like I'm working at the nightclub and the drunks are coming by trying to get in. Oh, Lord. Okay. B periods here. Some people's kids. Little distribution about 46 to 49. Am I allowed to swear on this? Maybe I can go Liverpool on him. Look, I can't be asked. Don't be a knobhead. Log 48, solid 50 again. It's my channel? Yeah, don't be a knob. Ugh. See you, Kevin. Have a good one. Hope everything goes well at the doctor now. No, I'm not Alexander. 68.54. If we get over that, be careful on the short because the target's the previous day high. Okay? Yeah, guys, I'm going to shut down the YouTube chat if you guys keep on it. All right? Try and at least be, for fuck's sakes, just be polite, people. What the fuck's wrong with you? Seriously. Looking for the previous day high. they're selling the previous day high, right? They're front running it? No, they're not traders. They're just fucking around. One tick, they sold into it. Now watch out when it's acting like that. Because it's not backfilling. Watch 54 and a quarter. If we accept over 54 and a quarter, 57 and 60, yeah. Yeah, I got 61, 68, and 76. Hey, Anne-Marie. Good to see you. Careful now. It's very unpredictable right here. Most people would be shorting the previous day high and having their stop at 56. If you are, put some bids down here at 52 and a half and see if you can get coverage down here. Right? If this thing can't get underneath that 52.51, it will either just go back and forth in this tiny little range and drive you nuts, or it'll accept over and do one of those. Don't take slow price action for weak price action. Watch the offer. If the offer offers under 52, you're okay if you're short. If we can't offer under 52, then you're in trouble. See? So these are the people who had their stops at yesterday's high. They're getting bought in. If you were a size seller, this would be a place where you would be unloading your inventory into this buying. See you, Larry. Have a good one. I don't have a trade for here. Look below and look above and fail of yesterday's high, maybe. Depends, RC. It's a good question. For me, if I was shorting, say I'm short right now, right? I'm gonna draw a line here. So if I'm short, say I'm short at 54 or 53 and three quarters, that's my warning level, and that's my get the hell out of town at 58. And I probably wouldn't, if it got over 55, 56, I'm bailing. I don't like taking a lot of risk on trades because usually if the trade doesn't work right away, it means I'm usually off on my timing. Does that make sense? I'm always early. So I find myself, if I take a trade and it doesn't work out right away, I'll scratch it and then try and take it again. Because sometimes I'll be a little too eager. You know what I mean? So I tend not to waste a lot of money on stops. Does that make sense? Because I'm always too early. Like, take the trade, it doesn't work, and then like 5 minutes later or 3 minutes later, that trade works. That's why I'll stop myself out pretty quickly. As soon as the trade does not make financial sense, so if I'm short at 54 and they're selling it at 56, you see how the trade doesn't make financial sense anymore, right? If they're selling product at 54, why am I selling product I don't own? Why am I selling product I don't own at 54 if the people who own it are selling it at 56, 57? Make sense? Yes? No? Can you guys still hear me? Just checking. Testing. Yeah, I am on the mic, Glenn. No problem, Glenn. No, no, Jiraj, not for you right now, my brother. No. What did I tell you? Where do you take your look? Where do you take your look below and fails? Don't do it in the middle of a zone. For you right now, purple to green, back to purple. Right? It doesn't get any more simple than that. Right? Goes from purple to green, back up into purple. That's when you take the trade. It's color coded, just like electrical wires. Right? Until you master the simple look below and fail. Now, listen, right? You guys can do whatever you want, but if you want to be successful, master the simple before you get more complex. Just keep it real simple. Good to see you, Glenn. Again, Glenn. Good to have you with us. All right, a little bit of an inventory correction here. And you'll be looking for 46 again. Nice work, Shark. Great new car. Well done. Hey, Badir, how are you? Oh boy. Now let's see if we have that seller at 54 again. Still distribution up here, folks. We got those shorts trapped under 47. Thoughts on risk off for big money? Big money is usually risk off, Marky. Now you got to understand, Marky, that big money, big money means investment money, right? They don't trade. ES is all speculation, right? To track, the chart doesn't lie. If if you were holding a stock, Marky, for 10 years, why would you take profits now? Does that make sense? Do you understand the difference between an investment and a trade? Right? Watch that previous day high again. So investment or trade? Investment, you don't do anything, right? So if I invested $100 million in AI companies and my cost basis is $30 a share on between $20 and $30 a share on 10 deals and they're trading at 150, right? Yeah, just keep those two. You know, Linda Bradford Ratchke says she's one of the best traders out there, pound for pound. You know, she is one of the best. She says those aren't eating sardines, those are trading sardines. So there's investment money and trading money, and they're different things. A bad trade turns into a bad investment. I don't know of any bad trades that turn into good investments. I don't know. That never works out for me. You know, you hear about people, they're like, oh, I bought this stock by accident. It went up 40%. That never happens to me. That never, ever happens to me. Oh, I bought this stock and it went up 20% by accident. That never happens to me. Ever, ever, ever. Right? It's usually, oh, I bought this stock by accident and I got my teeth kicked in. I'm not one of those lucky people. Right? Uh, yeah, lucky to find some coins in the couch. Oh my goodness. That's brutal. Oh, are we anybody still awake from this price action? How could you tell this is all short covering the buying? Nobody wants to buy this. And the sellers are all competing at 58. They're just holding the string high enough that the kitty cat jumps. Yeah, the worst thing is to buy a stock based on fundamentals and then think of it as a trade. Oh, God. Because what the market's doing and what the fundamentals of the company are doing are rarely aligned. Oh, speaking of which, everything's up today. How's the coin of bitterness? Oh, good. He cleaned up MSTR over 174. Oh, good, good, good. I was starting to feel nervous for the Bitcoin crowd. They're starting to get a little punchy. I was waiting to buy under 77. Nothing yet. Hmm. Well, folks, this is not exciting. 10 minutes left and nothing to do. Shall we go look at some equities? Let's see. Let's go take a look and see. Amazon 235. Crabapple 284. Crabapple 284. We're looking for 287 and change on Crabapple. How's Micro Squish? 490 Microsoft. There's inventory over 500, so that's got to clean up. The Rainforest 235. Netflix 1140. Oh no, not 1140. 108. Sorry, it's split. I got to rebuild that Netflix chart. That's the problem with Sierra. It doesn't back adjust after a split. What else? Tesla. Tesla above 429. It's got everyone short under 420 again. All right, let's look at MSTR. Oh, that's the profile chart. Yeah, so look at that. Look, MSTR, they finally got some people trapped short under 177. Right, you can see that. You can run market profile on stocks as well. Right, that's good. And BM&R caught a bid too. It's over 30. That's good. Good for those guys. Google still going, rocking and roll. Anything else you guys want to look at? Tesla. Oh, Palantir. 174. It's hanging in there. Big distribution. It's harder, Gambit. It's harder to see the short position. But what I can tell you is if you use a half an hour candle chart, right? If you take a half an hour candle chart, and I'll give you a little hint. If you look at this line right here, what's that level? See this line that I just drew? That line is 68.36 and 3/4. I can guarantee you, because we've tagged it a couple of times here and here, that there are shorts that are trapped from here to here. Now, how accurate that is harder. It's harder to see it, and you have to spend a lot of time looking. But you can definitely see trapped shorts. Boeing is just in this, Randy. It's I haven't looked at the stock in a while. Just did a nice look below and fail of 188 up to 202 on the weekly. And a lot of this stuff, nobody ever asks about Meta. Nobody is ever interested in that stock. It's very thinly traded. And we're still at 68.55. Nothing going on here today. Nothing going on. So, what are you thinking now? What I'm thinking is, in the next 6 minutes, when the next half-hour bar opens, does it open above or below 68.55? Because if it opens above 68.55, we know that there's going to be a short position underneath it. We will have single prints. Say it opens up here. You'll have another set of single prints. Well, damn it. Right? Something to be aware of. So that's what I'm looking for. Do we open over or under 68.55? So you're all good? Everybody understand what we're looking for? This market is going to go, in the next 4 weeks, this market is going to go from volatile to slow to volatile, sometimes 2 or 3 times in the same day, right? As we get close to this Fed stuff, we are going to, it might get slow next week into the Fed, right? Because nobody wants to go risk on during a Fed meeting, before a Fed meeting, right? Make sense? Yes? No? Be smart, right? I am listening, right? Right? Your best trade setups only, right? Nope, doesn't look like we're gonna have single prints. You think we get a? Do you think we could break that 38 area? You think we could break this? in the next half hour? Let's see. Maybe. Maybe, folks. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Sorry about that noise, the sound issue. Have a great trading day. Come visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org, and we will see you bright and early in the morning. Bye for now. Thank you.